Imagine living in a society where the rules are dictated by force, where respect is conquered with scars and fear turns into power. This is not a fiction story, nor an action film script. This is the life of the hyena men, a real, feared and enigmatic group that lives on the margins of Nigerian society, where brutality and survival go hand in hand. What makes a man choose this path? What is behind the cold looks, the marked muscles, and rituals that defy any logic of the modern world? You are about to dive into a universe that most people don't even think exists. A hidden reality where the hyena men face unimaginable dangers, not only from wild nature, but from the human condition itself. They coexist with true hyenas, ferocious, unpredictable animals, not just as symbols of strength, but as a living part of their daily lives. Each step of these men is governed by their own codes, brutal rules, ancestral traditions, and a routine that seems to be extracted from a forgotten time. In this video, you will discover secrets that are rarely revealed. You will understand how these men become living legends in the streets, heroes for some and threats to others. The hyena men are not just a cultural phenomenon. They are a dark mirror of a society in conflict with its own identity. By knowing their practices, their rights, and their way of seeing the world, you will come across deep questions about limits, pain, and survival. And before we dive even deeper into this universe that mixes fear and fascination, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below what impressed you the most so far. Your opinion is essential for us to continue bringing stories that few have the courage to tell. Turn on the notifications bell, and if you want to explore even more possibilities, check out the links in the description. There is an opportunity there that may surprise you. Origins and tradition of men hyena in northern Nigeria. An ancestral tradition persists through the hyena men, known locally as Gada Wankara. These men are part of a unique urban tribe, originating from the northern regions of the country, which stands out for its extraordinary street performances involving wild animals such as hyenas, snakes, and baboons. Since childhood, the members of this community are introduced to a world where living with these animals is everyday. Children are fed potions and exposed to animals to overcome fear and establish a deep connection with them. The practice of hyena men began as a way to demonstrate strength, courage, and spiritual power within their communities. Over time, it has evolved into a traveling show that captivates audiences across the country. The performances take place in open-air markets and village squares, attracting curious crowds. Dressed in vibrant costumes and sometimes adorned with the same chains that bind their fellow animals, the hyena men perform bold acts that demonstrate their skill and courage. The relationship between hyena men and their animals transcends the physical. It is deeply rooted in spirituality. They believe that they have a spiritual connection with animals, facilitated by rituals and incantations transmitted by their ancestors. During ceremonies and festivals, hyena men are often called to perform rituals involving their animals, serving as intermediaries between the spiritual and physical worlds. Despite the fascination they arouse, hyena men face criticism and challenges. Animal rights organizations question the conditions in which animals are kept and trained. In addition, urbanization and the loss of natural habitat make it difficult to capture new animals, putting at risk the continuation of this practice. The everyday and the challenges of men hyena. The life of hyena men is marked by an intense and multifaceted routine. For half the year, they are engaged in agriculture and scrap trade, activities that ensure their subsistence. In the other half, they embark on tour through villages and cities, where they perform with hyenas, snakes, and baboons. These performances are not just spectacles. They represent an ancestral tradition that requires courage, skill, and a deep connection with animals. The preparation for these shows involves the use of herbs and potions both for the animals and for the hyena men themselves. In order to ensure safety and strengthen ties between them, interaction with animals starts from childhood. Children are exposed to snakes, hyenas, and baboons, and receive potions that, according to tradition, make them immune to fear and bites. This process of familiarization is fundamental so that, when they reach adulthood, they can handle the animals with dexterity and confidence. The relationship between hyena man and his animals is built over the years, based on respect, discipline, and often spiritual practices that reinforce this connection. In addition to performing, the hyena men also act as healers in their communities, using parts of the animals, such as feces, saliva, and hair. They produce traditional remedies aimed at treating a variety of ailments, from physical illnesses to unwanted behavior in young people. These remedies are highly valued and sought after, reflecting the community's confidence in their knowledge and practices. However, this tradition faces significant challenges. Increasing urbanization and the loss of natural habitats make it difficult to capture new animals, which is essential for the continuity of presentations. Despite this, they continue to play a vital role in their communities by preserving cultural practices in a changing world. Spirituality and rituals of men. Hyena spirituality is a central element in the life of hyena men. They believe that they have a spiritual connection with animals, facilitated by rituals and incantations transmitted by their ancestors. During ceremonies and festivals, hyena men are often called to perform rituals involving their animals, serving as intermediaries between the spiritual and physical worlds. These rituals are not only demonstrations of faith, but also methods of protection and strengthening the bond between hyena man and his animals. The use of charms, potions, and incantations is common, and it is believed that these elements give hyena men the ability to control and communicate with animals in a unique way. This spiritual relationship is seen as a sacred partnership, where both man and animal share responsibilities and fates. The initiation of young people in the tradition of hyena men is marked by specific rituals. From an early age, children are introduced to practices aimed at developing their physical and spiritual endurance. They are fed potions and exposed to animals to overcome fear and establish a deep connection with them. These initiation rituals are considered essential to ensure that the next generation is prepared to take on the role of guardians of this tradition. Despite modern criticism and challenges, hyena men continue to value and practice their spiritual rituals. They see these practices as fundamental to the maintenance of their cultural and spiritual identity. Through these rituals, they not only preserve an ancestral tradition, but also strengthen community ties and the transmission of knowledge between generations. The future of men hyena. The future of hyena men is uncertain in the face of social and environmental changes. The increasing urbanization and the loss of natural habitats make it difficult to capture new animals, which is essential for the continuity of presentations. In addition, critics of animal rights organizations question the conditions under which animals are kept and trained, putting hyena men under scrutiny. Despite these challenges, hyena men demonstrate resilience and adaptability. They continue to make their presentations and offer traditional remedies, keeping alive a tradition that is an integral part of their cultural identity. Through their practices, they not only preserve ancestral knowledge, but also provide livelihoods for their families and communities. There is also a growing movement within communities to adapt the practices of hyena men to contemporary realities. This includes the search for more ethical methods of animal training and care, as well as the promotion of presentations that respect the rights of animals. These initiatives aim to ensure that the tradition of hyena men can continue in a sustainable and respectful way. In a world that is walking fast towards modernity, where traditions are easily forgotten and cultures are diluted, the hyena men remain as guardians of a living heritage. Its brutal rules, its rituals, its almost mystical connection with wild animals. All this reveals a human dimension little understood but deeply rich. And even in the face of suspicious looks and external judgments, the hyena men go forward, faithful to what they believe, supporting their communities with courage and wisdom. Each presentation with a hyena, each ritual involving snakes, each handmade remedy carries an untold story, a silent resistance to the loss of roots. In their eyes, there is more than bravery, there is the weight of carrying an entire culture on his shoulders, teaching the youngest that its value is not only in what you see, but in what you feel, and protect yourself with pride. And this is perhaps the greatest teaching that hyena men have to offer us, the importance of keeping alive what makes us unique. Even if the world changes, even if criticism increases, even if the paths become more difficult, there is something deeply inspiring in those who choose to be faithful to their roots. They are a powerful reminder that true strength is not just in muscle or beast domination, but in the courage to not abandon who we are, even when it makes us different. If this journey through the backstage of the life of hyena men surprised you as much as it surprised us by telling this story, take the time to subscribe to the channel, enjoy this video, and leave your comments saying what impressed you most. Activate the bell to not miss the next stories that reveal the extraordinary within what many find common, and take the opportunity to check out the links in the description with an opportunity that can surprise you and transform. Go for me. It's worth exploring.